Who is the player that you never signed in your career, but you wish you did?
Messi is Messi. I never say Messi is the special one in here because everything he does all the time. So Messi the special one because he scored 2 goals against Manchester United. He scores 2 goals all the time.
And just to give you an example, Messi won the Champions League with 3 different managers. I think it's easier to win with him than against him. Basically, everything was around not let Messi play. In Italy, they were using the word gabbia, you know, like a jail to Messi. I was very fortunate because I was, let's say, close in all his career. And the only thing I can say is that progressively he was always better and better and better. Genius, I think, is the word that you choose, and I think the word is correct. Genius.
Querían las 3, acá están las 3. Y el año que viene vamos a seguir y vamos a ganar todo. Vamos a festejar todo otra vez.
Exclusiva da boa, botando com o Messi. Lionel Messi around Zimmerman. Messi!
Long before the world realized what he really meant, Jose Mourinho made this statement years ago. Messi appears to be improving with each game, but no one took him seriously. People assumed it was overstatement, a kind remark, or simply another coach praising a celebrity. However, time has shown that Mourinho was entirely correct. Messi has reached an almost unbelievable level at the age of 38, when a typical player would be slowing down. A version of himself that keeps defying expectations, logic, and even football analysis.
And, of course they have a good team, of course they have phenomenal players, but that player is absolutely.
With an incredible 405 assists this season alone, he became the biggest assist giver in football history. He became the second highest scorer in history with 896 career goals, and he is still on the rise. He won the MLS Golden Boot with 35 goals, dominated World Cup qualifying with 8 goals, and traveled to Miami and Argentina with the same authority that he used to display at the camp on Champions League nights. This is the most terrifying part. There has been no decline in his level. The dribbling is still really good. The ending is still deadly, and the vision still appears to be supernatural. And it all began in Barcelona, where he contributed 303 assists, 672 goals, has produced some of the most memorable football moments in history. Barsafe is run in the Maradona style. The Wembley masterpiece of 2011, the impossible header in the 2009 Champions League final, and the quiet he placed over the Bernabeu. Messi Fab, the well-known shirt festival. The collapse of Bing. The destruction of Leverkusen and Arsenal. Messi and Lionel Messi are there, athletic club versus the solo run, against Liverpool, the ideal free kick. Messi produced mythos in addition to highlights. 35 trophies followed, numbers that will outlive any commentator who attempted to cast doubt on him. Paris Saint-Germain followed. Messi continued to produce ridiculous seasons like 32 goals and 25 assists in 2022 to 2023 despite criticism, noise, and bizarre narratives. All the while getting ready for the 2022 World Cup, the most significant task of his life. After years of tremendous strain, grief, and missing finals, in 2021, Messi triumphed once more in the Copa America and ultimately won the World Cup in Doha. Messi.
Tira mi corazón, gracias Messi, el fútbol Leo te devolvió todo lo que le diste, el fútbol te devolvió todo lo que le diste Leo, todo, sos una leyenda, naciste para lucharla, naciste para pelearla Leo, tú eres Rosario, te jugaste la vida, te fuiste a España con tu viejo, dejaste todo, y Argentina hoy Argentina está lo más alto para abajo.
He had finished football by then. He had won every single thing. Then, with everything at his disposal, he made an entirely unexpected decision to move to Miami, a new league, a new continent, and a new challenge. His entrance instantly changed Major League Soccer, packing stadiums, shattering records for retail sales, and making every game a worldwide spectacle. And Messi silenced everyone once more in Miami, where many had predicted he would take a vacation. He transformed the MLS's weakest team into a contender in every tournament they participated in. He won the League Cup as soon as he arrived, won the Supporters' Shield in his first full season, and led them to the MLS final in his second. It was best expressed by Pep Guardiola. He still has that instinct. Until the day he chooses to retire, he is the world's greatest player. Thus, Mourinho was correct from the start. Messi continues to improve. Messi resists the passage of time. Messi has a fiercely competitive buyer and is a genius. We must go back at Messi's beginnings in order to comprehend why he is this way. Lionel Messi on June 24, 1987, Andres Messi was born in Rosario, one of Argentina's largest cities. He came from a working-class background. His mother managed the household while working part-time cleaning jobs, and his father was employed in a steel industry. They were not impoverished, but their way of life was straightforward, modest, and focused more on hard work than luxury. Messi was raised in a close-knit family that featured his football-playing cousins, Emmanuel and Maximiliano Bianucci, as well as his three siblings, Rodrigo, Mattia, and his younger sister, Maria Sol. He began chasing a ball around the neighborhood at the age of 4, displaying an innate devotion and coordination that was immediately noticeable. More than anybody else, one man influenced his early moves. Celia Cuccittini, his grandma, was she who demanded that he attend appropriate training courses. She took him to his first practices at Grandi, a small local club where his elder brothers also played, because she had faith in him before anybody else did. In Messi's life, especially after her death, her support would become a crucial emotional pillar. Even now, she is the reason for every goal celebration that raises the sky. Messi transferred to News Old Boys after 2 years at Grandoliai, where he played for 6 crucial seasons from 1995 to 2001. He became a phenomenon at News. Local newspapers wrote about the small left-footer who dribbled children twice his size because he scored so many goals. He scored 4 in his debut alone. However, a catastrophe that put everything in jeopardy emerged behind the magic. Messi was found to have an uncommon growth hormone deficit by medical professionals. His football career would end before it started if he didn't receive costly therapy. His family was unable to cover the expenses during Argentina's severe economic crisis. Suddenly, his future was slipping away. Hope didn't return until FC Barcelona stepped in. Messi traveled across the Atlantic for the opportunity of a lifetime when he was just 13 years old. On September 17, 2000, he had a trial with Barcelona. The club required 3 arduous months to reach a decision. However, the agreement was famously sealed on a plain napkin at a cafe on December 14, 2000. Messi. That napkin would go on to become one of football's most famous artifacts when it sold for over $900,000 at auction in 2024. At the famed La Masia Academy in Barcelona. Messi burst right away. In his debut game, he concluded the 2002-03 season with 4 goals. 36 goals in 30 games is a ridiculous total. Coaches realized right away that they had a generational problem. He was called up for a first-team friendly against Porto on November 16, 2003.
Barcelona a 14 de diciembre del 2000 y en presencia de los señores Minguella y Horacio, Carlos Rechac, secretario técnico del Fútbol Club Barcelona, se compromete bajo su responsabilidad y a pesar de algunas opiniones en contra, a fichar al jugador Lionel Messi siempre y cuando nos mantengamos en las cantidades acordadas.
He was just 16 years, 4 months, and 23 days old. He made his La Liga debut in the derby against Espanyol on October 16, 2004, less than a year later. Despite its brief existence, it signaled the start of a new era. The moment that represented fate then arrived on May 1, 2005. Ronaldinho helped Messi score his first La Liga goal against Albacete with a deft lob. It was like a passing of the torch for Barcelona. The youthful genius who would change Barcelona's future was identified by the Brazilian magician. Messi became the club's youngest goal scorer at the age of 17 years, 10 months, and 7 days, a record that was later surpassed, most notably by Lamine Yamal, but it signaled to the world that something remarkable had started. Messi's Barcelona career was filled with records and momentous occasions in the years that followed. He became the team's all-time leading scorer in 17 seasons, scoring 672 goals in 778 games while winning 7 Copa del Rey's tournaments and 10 La Ligas. With 91 goals in a single year, he also broke personal records. Messi scored 50 goals in a single La Liga season and finished with 477 goals and 305 assists in Spanish league contests. Barcelona experienced some of the best years in their history with Messi, including the iconic 2009 sextuple and Guardiola's complete metamorphosis. Before Pep, Barcelona failed to score 100 goals in all competitions for 7 consecutive seasons. However, during Messi's first season as a false nine, everything changed. After he scored 30 goals for the first time, Barca went on to score 100 goals in 13 straight seasons. Messi wasn't the best player by himself. Neymar and Luis Suarez, the renowned MSN trio Barcelona built, were also outstanding. Incredible attacking totals in 3 seasons, 171, 170, and 167 goals. The 3 of them alone received scores of 122, 131, and 110 in 2014 and 2015, exceeding 100 each year. Neymar scored 39, Suarez scored 25, and Messi scored 58. Suarez scored the most in 2015 and 2016 with 59. Neymar added 31 and Messi added 41. Messi scored 54 goals, Suarez scored 36, and Neymar scored 20 during their last season together, dominating Europe and winning a Champions League. Messi also produced moments that will never be forgotten. He devastated Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in 2006, gave Delorno the red card, and earned Mourinho's well-known comment, Teatro del Bueno. That was the night in 2007 when the new monarch arrived in Europe. In the Copa del Rey, he replicated Maradona's World Cup goal against Getafe by dribbling past everyone from midfield on a chilly night that he made legendary. A week after he scored his first goal against Real Madrid, he did that. Lionel Messi has it in mind. Everyone is taken up by Messi. He scored a game-winning brace against Celtic in Glasgow in 2008. Yes, Lionel Messi has won. Real danger, scoring 40 goals for Barcelona and being applauded by the Scottish supporters. Additionally, he scored a header over Van der Eezer in the 2009 GOAT final in Rome, which he subsequently described as the most memorable goal of his career, earning Barcelona a 2-0 victory. Messi was always there when it counted. The public hasn't yet witnessed his greatest works while wearing a Barcelona shirt, despite Mourinho's constant improvement. Messi concluded that his Barcelona would be ideal in 2009. This was the unstoppable, invincible, flawless Barca of the 6 titles. After a difficult final versus Estudiantes, they won the Club World Cup to round off the year. Messi won the championship in extra time by chesting in a Xavi cross, and Pedro became the first player to score in every competition by forcing extra time with a last-second goal. Messi became Real Madrid's undisputed king in 2011. Barcelona went to the Bernabeu for the first leg of the Champions League semi-final and won 0-2. A week after losing the Copa del Rey final and during a furious altercation between Guardiola and Mourinho, Messi still claims that this was the most memorable game of his career despite having scored both goals. Leo was in charge on the field, but Mourinho was in charge of the press room. Messi created Champions League history once more in 2012. He made history by being the first player to score 5 goals in a Champions League knockout encounter during the 7-1 victory over Bayer Leverkusen. Has before scored 5 goals in a Champions League game, but no one has ever done so. Real Madrid faced the coldest version of Messi in 2014. Barca had suffered defeats at Valladolid and San Sebastian on the road. In the fight for the championship, the Bernabeu trip proved crucial. Iniesta scored, it was turned around by Madrid. Messi tied the score. It was 3-2 thanks to Cristiano. Then, under Tata Martino, Leo and Unreal Com scored 2 penalties to give Barcelona a 3-4 victory. Messi produced a famous bang moment in 2015. Guardiola's Bayern team went to the Champions League semi-final Camp Nou. Messi's 2 goals, including the iconic play in which he downed Barting with a body blow before scoring, helped Barcelona win 3-0. A treble marked the end of the season, but that night will always be remembered. Messi's influence at Barcelona continued to grow over time, and the Argentine was far from finished. In 2016, Barcelona was on Messi's back. Following their Champions League elimination at the hands of Atletico Madrid, Barcelona endured a disastrous La Liga run that included 1 draw and 3 consecutive defeats that shattered their lead. The group appeared despondent and on the verge of disintegrating. With everything on the line, they drove to La Coruña and won 0-8. Messi was the driving force. 2 assists, 1 goal, and 2 other individual plays that resulted in goals. Barca became unbeatable once more after the game and concluded the season with a double at home. A few weeks after the historic comeback against PSG in 2017, he proved to be Habu who the true king was. In a pivotal league game, Barcelona traveled to Real Madrid. Madrid was the first to score. Messi scored the 2-3 victory in extra time, celebrating by raising his shirt to the Bernabeu fans after James had knotted the game late, among his most famous photos from his career. Sevilla experienced his rage in 2018. Valverde's position was in jeopardy 11 days after the Champions League disaster in Rome, and the Copa del Rey final in Madrid seemed like a trial. Messi was the standout once more as Barcelona prevailed 5-0. Messi's performance, which saved Valverde and earned another domestic double in 2019, continues the fight with 1 goal and 2 assists. At the Villa Marin, Sevilla cheered him on. In the A1 for victory over Betis, Messi scored 3 goals, including a stunning chip over Paulo Lopez. Messi. He was forced to respond when the entire stadium entrance crowd screamed his name. The cheers. These and plenty other moments during Manita's match versus Real Madrid, the Liverpool free kick. Applause. Messi made the comeback against Milan. It's witty. It's Messi. The poker match with Arsenal. He became the best player in Barcelona's history with his lone goal against Athletic. The world was horrified by his departure because of this, after losing the 2014 World Cup final, failing in Russia, and losing 2 Copa America finals. Messi was leading a Barcelona that was collapsing while receiving heavy criticism from the Argentine media and supporters. When Paris arrived, his career appeared to be about to enter a gloomy chapter. At that point, it appeared uncertain and gray. Leo had some of the most memorable experiences of his life. Sanjera, Paris. Alongside Kylian Mbappe and Neymar, Messi posted incredible stats in 2022 and 2023, 32 goals and 25 assists, despite the incessant cacophony, criticism, and bizarre French storyline, all the while getting ready for the 2022 World Cup, the most significant task of his life. Before the glory, Messi had already started creating a national team legacy even greater than his Barcelona one, delivering us spectacular moments beginning with his World Cup debut. We all know how that narrative ended. He was called up for the 2006 World Cup despite missing the final months of his rookie season with Barcelona. Fans from all over the world were eager to see the teenager in Germany. In the first game against Ivory Coast, Messi was benched. However, in the second game against Serbia and Montenegro, he entered the game and had a huge impact. He produced another goal and scored one in just 16 minutes. Diego Maradona, who was watching from the stands at Gelsenkirchen, was captivated by Messi. Messi continued to provide Argentina with brilliant moments. He gave a terrible performance against Brazil in a friendly in East Rutherford in 2012, but it meant much more. In a 4-3 victory, he scored a hat-trick. The Argentines had been expecting for a stunning victory, but the first 2 goals were excellent finishes. Messi, they are continuously retreating. Messi had to wait 8 years for his next World Cup goal after scoring on his debut. The South African 2010 ended in a 4-0 loss to Germany, which was a catastrophe for both Messi and Maradona. Thus, Messi had a fantastic start in Brazil 2014 under tremendous pressure. The game-winning second goal against Bosnia, an incredible final-minute victory over Iran, and 2 additional goals, including a free kick in the 3-2 victory over Nigeria. However, the ongoing heartache had a negative impact. Messi confirmed his retirement from international competition after losing 3 consecutive finals, including the 2016 Copa America loss to Chile. Argentina pleaded with him to come back. He was also referred to as a gift from God by President Mauricio Mri. He returned just in time. Argentina's early loss to Ecuador on October 10, 2017, put them in grave danger of missing the 2018 World Cup. Messi handled all the strain at altitude in Quito and scored an incredible hat-trick to virtually qualify Argentina on his own. Messi, and things between Messi and the national squad changed irrevocably after that. The 2018 World Cup was a complete failure. The dressing room was totally destroyed by Jorge's side and employed disorderly tactics, and France, the team that would go on to win the World Championship, eliminated Argentina. Then came the game-changing 2021 Copa America victory, a 1-0 triumph over Brazil at the Maracanã. It didn't matter that Messi didn't perform well in the championship game. Without him, Argentina would not have made it to that point. He won the Golden Ball and Golden Boot despite not scoring in the championship game, being personally responsible for 9 of Argentina's 12 objectives. It had nothing to do with individual honors. For Messi, it has never been. It has to do with his favorite Argentina finally taking home a trophy. Messi sobbed as he fell to the turf at the Americana when the whistle rang. The date with fate then arrived. Qatar in 2022. Argentina came with a lot of assurance. They enjoyed a 36-game winning streak and were the South American champions. However, despite an early penalty kick by Messi, the team lost 2-1 to Saudi Arabia in Lucca, one of the biggest surprises in World Cup history. Before playing Mexico, one of the tournament favorites was suddenly under tremendous pressure. In what was supposed to be Messi's last World Cup, a loss would result in elimination. Until the captain showed up, the tension was intolerable. Messi scored a low drive from 25 yards into Mexico's net in the 64th minute after controlling a deft cross from Ángel Di Maria. Messi continued to make history in the moment that salvaged Argentina's World Cup in the round of 16. He played his 1,000th game in his career against Australia. Naturally, he celebrated with a goal and an outstanding performance. Messi was more of a captain than ever during the quarterfinals. He made one of the best passes of his career with his assist to Nahuel Molina, which only he could see. However, a lot of Argentines recall something much more. During the tumultuous Battle of Lucail, Messi confronted Wabegos in a heated post-match interview. Messi gave one of the most exquisite performances of his career in the semifinals. One of the tournament's best defenders was Josko Gvardiol. He was so brilliant that Manchester City eventually paid $77 million for him. Messi smashed him in Qatar. He assisted Julian Alvarez for his second goal after continuously dribbling past Gvardiol on the right side after scoring a strong penalty in the first half. Then came Messi's finest professional moment, the ultimate destiny accomplished. Messi's title as the best of all time was confirmed when Gonzalo Montiel scored the last penalty in the most thrilling World Cup final ever. A player has not dominated a World Cup like this since Maradona, in 1986. Every knockout game Messi participated in, he was chosen man of the match. His 2 goals against France in the 3-3 final made him the only person in history to win the Golden Ball twice and increased his World Cup gold contributions to 21, one more than Pelé. At 35 years old, all of this. Watching Lionel Messi for nearly 20 years has been an absolute privilege, remarked Gary Laker. Everyone believed that Messi's story had found its ideal conclusion, but he had other ideas. Another goal to turn the MLS's poorest team into a winner. Additionally, the enchantment of the number 10 would be carried by his Inter Miami chapter. As Jose Mourinho recently stated on the GOAT, Messi is in charge of everything as long as he plays football. And Messi demonstrated his dramatic timing as soon as he got to Miami. The new Leagues Cup had just started, a chaotic tournament mixing MLS and Liga MX that nobody fully understood except Messi. He treated it like his own stage. And his debut, pure movie magic, last minute, a free kick. One chance to save Miami. Of course, he curled it into the top corner. A perfect beginning. Messi, from that moment, the tournament became a Messi highlight reel. Against Atlanta United, he scored twice and delivered an assist. I think he's onside. Messi with Gazan off his line. Messi off the post puts the follow in against Orlando. He scored another brace. Taylor cutting inside clipping it. Messi. Then came Dallas where Messi looked like the Messi of Barcelona. A calm finish after a Jordi Alba assist. Let's go back to Lionel Messi. And another spectacular free kick at the very end. An exact replica of the goal he scored against Liverpool. Messi is above. Quarterfinals. Against Charlotte, another goal. But as it came off the Wanda, Kana was still on it. Oh, no one is visiting Kana. Messi also scores a second goal. Semifinals. The longest strike of his career in terms of distance. Has enough time to become Messi. The advantage was used. Messi is moving forward. Messi from a distance. Final a thunderbolt to contribute to Miami's inaugural trophy from Oh No. Zimmerman is surrounded by Lionel Messi, however, continued. He attempted to force Miami into the MLS playoffs following the League Cup. The incredible goal against the Red Bulls of New York. Oh, Jordi Alba's stunning lob assist against Messi's LFC. Jordi Alba is in, I see. Jordi Alba for 2. But he was halted by injury. Only 6 of Miami's final 13 games featured him. And the team fell apart without him, demonstrating once more a universal reality. Everything stops when Messi stops. However, this was just the start. In 2024, Inter Miami created history. In a manner that seems surreal, as though it were an entirely separate club. They won the Supporters' Shield and shattered the all-time MLS single-season record with 74 points. This change was designed. Messi, Suarez, Busquets, and Jordi Alba brought synergy and experience that MLS had seldom seen as they recreated a miniature Barcelona. Even at 37, Messi was the lifeblood. He produced ridiculous figures despite missing 16 games due to injury and Copa America duty. In just 19 games, he has 20 goals and 16 assists. Throughout the season, Miami scored 78 goals and produced masterclass after masterclass, including a 3-1 victory over Philadelphia. Messi was absent from the 3-2 road loss to Columbus. Settles. Messi is attempting an internal CUT. IT is still there. Against the Red Bulls, it is 6-2. Messi. 1 goal and 5 assists. That throw is played by Messi. This is Rojos. Corell flags it down and chips it. Against Orlando, it's 5-0. It's playing on top of everyone and going to stand on top of them. There and now. A hat-trick from Suarez. Taylor, put yourself in the open net. Then came the amazing night, the 6-2 victory over New England. Messi scored a hat-trick and provided an assist after coming off the bench. Then Messi once again. Oh, Roundaga. Messi, MVP caliber dominance. However, the playoffs were brutal. Miami fell apart early. Messi didn't care that he was named MLS MVP in 2024. He wasn't there to win prizes. He arrived to complete David Beckham's ambition and establish Miami as a dynasty. Then Javier Mascherano, a crucial arrival, arrived. Miami looked dangerous going into the next postseason. In 4 of their 5 postseason games, they scored 3 or more goals. They also broke another MLS record with 98 goals in all. Palmeiras advanced to the round of 16 after their first ever competitive victory over a European team was a 2-2 draw. Not even the 4-0 loss to PSG was the catastrophe that everyone had feared. Everything blew out after the Club World Cup. Before the playoffs, Miami had scored 3 goals or more in 7 of their previous 8 games. Messi led MLS with 22 assists and won the Golden Boot with 29 goals in 28 games. Once again, Lion Messi is here. What a goal, Messi, I swear. One brutal fact was the foundation of Miami's entire enterprise. Messi's continued health for the postseason. Messi went into World Cup mode at this point. Miami was in trouble once more after losing Game 2 to Nashville. The twist then appeared. Suarez was suspended by the MLS disciplinary committee for the pivotal game. What appeared to be a catastrophe turned out to be a blessing. While Messi slid into a false 9 role alongside Baltazar Rodriguez in midfield, Mascherano substituted 19-year-old Matteo Silvetti and Tato Alenda for Suarez. Miami received the energy, pace, and verticality they lacked. As a result, Miami defeated Nashville 4-0 thanks to 2 goals from Messi and 2 from Indetto. Mascherano subsequently said that the crew was plagued by recollections of the disaster from the previous year, but terror served as motivation. Mascherano kept Suarez on the field against FC Cincinnati. The bench once more had faith in the young trio. Messi scored the first goal across Messi's head to give Miami the victory. Although Solvetti scored the second goal, this is encouraging. Alinda adds 2 goals, and Messi completes a hat-trick of assists. The same formula was used in the Eastern Conference Final. Miami unleashed mayhem once more. Alinda completed a hat-trick. Solvetti scored. Miami also defeated NYCFC 5-1. There was another milestone in that contest. With 405 assists, Messi became the all-time assist leader. Turning and sliding to Messi, additionally, he contributed 13 goals, 6 goals, and 7 assists during the playoffs, the highest total ever for a single MLS Cup postseason. Thus, Mourinho was entirely correct. Messi continues to be the master, owner, and king of the team as long as he keeps the ball moving. Like the video, subscribe to Kickster Facts, and turn on notifications for real football facts you won't hear anywhere else.